Real quick before this video starts, make sure you follow me at 415 Kodak on Twitter and also GFX COMET, and we also got a Discord server. So if you're interested, join, and I hope you enjoy this video. Before we get this video started, make sure you use the code YouTube for 15% off on all products on gfxcomet.com. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Check out the website.
What is up, everybody? It is me, Aditya here. Today I'm going to be doing an intermediate logo design tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this design that we have right here. We did get a request from this on our Discord server on how to make these like a little bit more complex ones, and this really isn't anything special. We've covered all this in previous tutorials, but the difference is that this one just has two vectors on the side. That's literally all, right? This is just a normal text. You guys can get this from any one of our videos. So I'm going to be pretty much recreating this exact thing. So the font they used here looks to be something similar to Luckiest Guy. This one right here. So let's just do something like, let's go ahead and turn this black. Yeah, that looks about right when we compare it, at least. Sample, and let's just duplicate this layer. We don't want to use the inner, we just want to completely duplicate the text. Spacing looks about right over here. Take this off, we'll come here and then just write text. And now we want to completely center this with the top version, right? And now, pretty much over here, all that's there is, we're just going to rasterize the layer style, and we're going to have gradients. So for the first one, which is the top one, we're just going to pretty much copy the gradient because I don't feel like making my own right now. But you guys can just play around with whatever you think's the best. Over here, we just want to go to the deepest corner. That should suffice right there. Now over here, we're going to go towards the top a little bit. The colors might not be exact. The colors do matter, so I'd recommend you guys take a little bit more time choosing your colors out, but I'm just trying to get done with this fast because we do have more tutorials coming up. So alright, so we're just gonna choose the top again. Let's go something a little more light. There we go. So now they're pretty much similar in this aspect. So now what we're gonna do is rasterize these, and then we're gonna create this little drop shadow thing that they have going on over here. So first, let's go to sample. Let's duplicate the layer once, and then we're gonna place this in the bottom. Now we're gonna hold Alt, and then we're just gonna bring it down while using this tool. But I also need to merge these layers. Blending options, color overlay, and then we're gonna choose this dark blue. And then that seems like it's not enough, so we can go a few more times. One. Perfect. Alright, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for sample. And for sample, it's just gonna be a darker orange over here. So we're just gonna do take this off, color overlay over here. Same exact process for this side. And we go over here, select this, rasterize the layer, and then same thing. Let's delete about one. Yeah, that looks about right. Like I said, you guys can take a lot more time just making everything like up to date. But I do recommend you guys don't spend too long on logos because it's supposed to be, you don't want to make it way too complex. You don't want to make it to where no one can understand what's going on. So let's merge these layers here now. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and then we're going to do stroke. No, actually what we're going to do first is we're going to now make these, let me go over here, write something like for tutorial. Alright, so now we're going to open Illustrator here, and Illustrator is used to create vectors pretty much, and vectors will be these little things. You can also make these on Photoshop, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to make them on Illustrator, just because it seems a lot more easier to do things like this on Illustrator. Let's open a new page, paste what we want here, and what we're gonna do here is just enlarge this axe only. Alright, now we just break down everything that's on here, right? So all this is, it seems like, is first we're just gonna make this top layer, and then we're just gonna make a shadow. It's really nothing hard, right? So we're gonna do this. Bam. Now we want to press the anchor point. Bam. And we can go ahead and do this right for now, just because bam. There we go. So this is pretty much the top of the axe, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some color to this. So let's move this aside over here, and then use the color picker tool, and that's it. So there's obviously some highlights there, and we can touch that up in the end. First, let's get the basic shape down, and then we're gonna get to the smaller things. You guys just want to make sure you guys have like a really nice workflow, because fairly I am kind of doing this at like a smaller, like slower rate, because this isn't anything really complex, but I'm just trying to go step by step so you guys understand like how to make these vectors, how to implement them into your logos and all that. Credits to whoever did actually make this logo, because I really didn't even check. It was pretty much just a recommendation on there. So okay, look, so we're gonna come by here, alright. There's that for the shape. Alright, perfect. So now we just want to do the same thing. Let's move this aside over here. Bam. And now what we're just going to do is color this. So the basic color over here is just this brown. So now you guys see, right? It doesn't look anything alike. So what do? So the thing that's missing is these designs and everything like that, right? So we've already got the basic shape and whatnot. So what we can do now is we can just copy these. Let me make sure these are placed right? We can take these into Photoshop now since we got the shape that we wanted. So we're just gonna copy this and then plop it in here. Place. So now we brought it into Photoshop, and now what we're gonna do in Photoshop is we're pretty much gonna add these designs and whatnot. So like I said, first we just want to add these like all these highlights, and then we're gonna go layer by layer. So first let's start on the top, right? And this thing that makes it look 3D is just what we did with this text pretty much. So we can do that after everything else is settled. So over here, let's just grab the pen tool, and then we can do this on a new layer just to make sure, be safe. Then we can just copy this. Let's enlarge this a little bit. Oops, it seems like I messed up. Alright, let's just start from the big one, I guess. So it starts over here, a little bit towards the blade more. We really want to take this stroke off first. Alright, hold on guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble here, but should be. Yeah, this should be satisfactory enough, I guess. Color overlay. We can just do this white fully. And then we bring this up a little bit. Let's go one step this way. And to make sure this is there, we just rasterize this, select the pixels on this, bam, then we can delete this little section. So this should be an exact perfect fit for wherever we had it, right about there, perfect. And we leave it as this for now, but later we'll obviously shade it and whatnot. So I see a little more highlight over here. It's a little bit pixelated, so you guys probably can't see it through the video. Alright, let's repeat the same thing, color overlay over here. And for this, let's just go here. We gotta mess around with this a little until we find like a nice little fit. Alright, and then let's move the corner over here. Alright, this will suffice. Let's go ahead and get rid of this little, oops, let's, bam. Alright, that should work. We won't even have to repeat that just because we did it super narrow. And now color overlay, let's go white again. And now there is one more highlight, the first one I attempted. That goes like this, and then it goes like that. So it's like a little upside down L. So to replicate that, we're just gonna go here. We're gonna come here, gonna go down, come back up, and there, that should be it. Color overlay this white, perfect. Now we're gonna do yeah, alright, let's head on over to the thing first. Now before we actually move on, so what we have over here is we have these highlights, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretty much bring them all together as one layer. So merge these layers, and then we're gonna turn down the opacity so it gives it that like more kind of highlight look, I guess. Alright, good. And over here also we want to start on this axe. So on the axe, what they're doing is they're using shadows. If you see, this is just like a semicircle, I guess, and then they're just making it a little bit darker. So we can replicate that look just by doing something like this. Hold on. Let's go ahead and turn on color overlay first, just to get a nice reference. On the example, it's a bit longer, so we'll stick with color overlay. And I'm not sure what they use, because people usually use black, but we can just go ahead and choose this, just since it's already there. Rasterize layer style, and then if you guys remember what we did with the first few things, we just do that on like a bigger base. Let's go to this ellipse, fit it in right here. And we can delete the first one. Let's make sure this is all fine though. Yeah, this seems to be fine. Okay, yeah, and then over here we can just duplicate this again. Let's flip this upside down, and then we just go down here. We go down here, repeat the same exact thing as we did before. Select the pixels on this. There we go. And so we can actually go back to here, so it seems like we didn't get completely the right color. That's why this looks a bit way different from this, right? So we're gonna go back to this layer right here. We're just gonna select our brush tool, which we'll just use this one for, and then we can just start brushing over it with the color that we want, which is going to be this one right here. Let's add a little bit of then corners, let's go a little bit brighter, I guess. And then over here we're just gonna, fix it up. Go to the second one, the hard brush. Oops. Oh wait, hold on. I might have made a mistake here. I don't know, it seems like we messed up with our vector over here, so let's just copy this again. Over here, place. Actually, we can just recolor our vector in, we can do this piece by piece, just since it'll allow us to have sort of a more leverage of what's what, sort of. We can customize it piece by piece. So let me go ahead and get rid of all this. Let's move this, and we can take these down with us since we've already made them. Alright, perfect. And then we'll just come up here, take this off, take this off. Alright, now we're back just to working on this, I guess, for now. So let's go ahead over here, and then let's go to just the raw X. And the reason I did this is, now look, so what I seem to have overlooked is this isn't just one solid color, it's more or less a gradient, but it's like something like we can't really tell. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up here where the darkest one is and pick this, and then we're gonna go up here where the lighter one is, pick something like this. There we go. And then over here, we want to make this look a little bit more natural, I guess. So let's kind of extend this a little bit. We can just replicate the whole entire process. take this down a notch. All right. All right, there we go. So we're gonna come back over here and then let's rasterize this. I'd recommend you guys name this just to make it a little bit easier. So over here we can just merge these as well just to make it easier in the future. Let's go ahead and get the, yeah, I figured too. So this is also a gradient. For this, we're gonna come here, choose the bottom corner of this, perfect. I'm gonna come here, choose the top corner of this. All right. Next is the little squiggly lines, I guess, and this is really self-explanatory. We're just gonna come here with the pen, come around here, and then come like this, and we're just gonna bring this way. We can actually have an outline on this. Let me redo that with an outline. So over here, let's do stroke, and then let's just do black for now, and then we'll just correct it in a little bit. So if we see here, the first curve goes down here. And for this, let's just go really thin, by the way. That should be about right. Go one more shot with this. We just want to make sure what this guy did. He pretty much just aligned it towards this first circle, so we pretty much just did it backwards by accident. Let's lower back the stroke a little bit. There we go. And we're just gonna push this up like this. And we're just gonna come here, color overlay this. Just pick up that random color right here. And then we're just gonna move on to the ellipses over here. And there's gonna be just one over here. And we can just displace these as well, so oops, we wanna get rid of this. Come here, take out the stroke, use the fill. Oh boy, that's not good. Just come here. Another one's gonna be over here. Another one just gonna be placed down like this. and then we go do the same exact thing as we did with the other curve. Make it a line, I guess. So we don't want to fill on this, we just want to stroke, and we'll see how big we want that stroke in a little bit. Okay, stroke is over here, no thing, over here. Color overlay right here. Perfect. And yeah, so we're finally done with that. And now we can go up to these ellipses over here. We can merge the rasterize these and then just merge them, and then they'll act as one. Come here, just come over here, bam, bam. And that should be done for the handle, just some kind of wood aesthetic, right? And then now we go back to this top, the axe head, and then we come up here, import this in. Let's fit this perfectly. Since we're already done with this other part of it, right? We can go ahead and first let's merge everything that we don't need, or that we need for this handle. Merge layer, make sure it's all there. Let's move this aside. Done. So part one of the vector is done. The second part, which is the top, is gonna be a lot more quicker. So let's just hop in here. First thing that we see on this is, let's go ahead and make a new layer, and then let's go replicate this first highlight. So it's just going like this. There. That's done. Next, let's go ahead and get this little tooth looking thing. We can redo this real quick. Just go from over here. We could just trace this over here, I guess. Let's take out the fill on this. And we'll just carry it on over here. Alright, next we hit the color overlay. We'll come over here, expand this a bit, come here, go to the top, and then we rasterize this layer, bam bam, and then align it like usual, just to make sure everything fits right. Next, what we want to do is come over here, and then we just replicate the same thing but on a smaller basis over here. Alright, and now we're gonna gather up this, and this. Same exact thing, rasterize these, merge them. Let's go over here. Let's color overlay them. Go here. And we'll rasterize these again. Can merge these layers, and like that we have our vector for the axe. And now since we've already got the entire axe, we just merge it. It's one. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna duplicate this, duplicate the layer. Let's take one off, let's make one not visible, and then we're gonna sort of color overlay this, turn the opacity down, make it black, so it looks sort of like a really cool shadow. And then let's rasterize this, bring it under here, and then we're just gonna go all sort of like this. And so what we have here is we have our axe ready for the vector. There we go. And then to get the other side, we just come here, transform it, just make this a little bit bigger. We put this one over here, and then we put everything to a final merge. So let's grab all this, merge these layers. Now we move on to the shadow. And for the shadow, what we're going to do is we're going to implement a black stroke. And if you guys see, right, the black part's like really thin over there. So we're going to come here, rasterize this layer, and then we're going to duplicate underneath, go like a black. And we can just go to the second one over here. Let's go here, and then there we go. and then fill in all this white space. Okay. And the thing is, you might have to freehand some of this stroke, because if you guys see what I'm doing, it doesn't look perfect, but from afar you can't really tell the difference, so we don't want to overdo this like we did that vector. Alright, so we go down here. So we made all our black space done over here, and then we can go a bit lower. Alright, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come here, even this out. And it looks really rough, yes, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back around with this tool right here. Excuse me. And then we're gonna come over here to the top, repeat the same exact thing just to even out all these little spaces. And there we go. So now what we want to do is we want to merge these layers again, come back up here, we want to stroke, color, we want to go white. And now you guys probably can't see this, so what we're gonna do, let's just paint bucket this entire background black. So there we go, guys. Here is the intermediate logo tutorial, right? This will help you guys pretty much learn how to do any of this stuff that you want, right? You guys just play around with the vectors. The vector doesn't have to be this complex. It could be more simple, it could be more complex for all I know. Just have a nice balance of both. And that's pretty much all for this tutorial. Until next time, guys, see ya.